Hi Reddit. Throwaway because my main has some overlap with people in real life and I do not want this traced back to me yet. I also apologize in advance if this gets long, but my brain has been going 1,000 miles a minute since everything blew up and I need to write it down somewhere before I lose my mind. So, I, 27F, have been with my boyfriend, let's call him Eric, 32M, for almost 3 years now. We met at a friend's trivia night at this dingy little bar where the wings are better than they have any right to be. He slid into our team when one of his buddies left and I still remember the first question he answered. Something about obscure 80s sitcoms. He just smirked like, "Don't worry guys, I got this," and rattled off the answer like he had it queued up. I was immediately intrigued. Fast forward through months of late-night food runs, shared playlists, awkward attempts at cooking together and a million inside jokes and he became my person. The kind of person you text about dumb memes, the one you call when your car makes a weird noise, the one who knows exactly how you like your coffee without asking. Things were good. Or at least I thought they were. Eric works in IT mostly from home, though he sometimes has to go into the office or do on-site checks. He always framed his schedule as super flexible but also kinda chaotic. That fit with his personality so I never questioned it much. If he had to disappear for a few hours or even a whole day, he'd usually just text something like, "crazy client issue, don't wait up." And I believed him. We weren't living together officially but I was at his place 4 to 5 nights a week. I had a toothbrush there, a drawer, half my skincare products camped out in his bathroom. We talked about getting a bigger apartment together, maybe moving in this summer. He was the first guy I'd ever actually pictured building a life with. So imagine me last Thursday night, curled up on his couch while he's working late, scrolling Instagram. I get a DM request from someone I don't know. A woman. Her profile pic is her holding a baby. Normally I'd just ignore that kind of thing, but the message preview showed "Are you with Eric right now?" Which made my stomach drop. My first thought was, oh no, some random stranger thinks her boyfriend is cheating but wrong guy. Reader. Who's not the wrong guy? I open the message. It's long. It says, paraphrasing here "I'm sorry if this comes out of nowhere but I need to know the truth. Are you in a relationship with Eric / last name?" She included a picture of him. My boyfriend. No question. And then, he's my husband. We've been married for 5 years. We have a daughter together. Please, I just need to know what's going on. Sis. I swear I sat there staring at my phone for 5 whole minutes while my brain refused to process English. Like I literally kept rereading the same lines, convinced I had misinterpreted. Finally I messaged back, "Wait. What?" Sis. We went back and forth. Her name is Allison. She sent me wedding photos. Wedding photos. The same stupid smirk on his face, only this time he's in a tux, kissing her like she's his whole world. She sent me screenshots of their family calendar, their mortgage paperwork. She wasn't just some random troll. This was real. At some point she just asked me, "How long have you been with him?" And I typed, hands shaking so hard I hit like 5 typos. Almost 3 years. She went quiet for a while after that. When Eric came home later, I tried to act normal at first because I didn't know what else to do. But the second he sat down and started scrolling his phone, I just blurted, "Who is Allison?" Sis. I've never seen a human being's face drain that fast. He froze. Literally didn't blink for like 10 seconds. Then he went into full panic mode. "Wait, it's not what you think, I can explain, you know." The classic cheater script. I won't bore you with the whole screaming match but highlights include. Me. Explain what? That you have a whole wife and kid you forgot to mention? Sis. Him. It's complicated, we're basically separated, we're not like together. Me. Oh wow, you forgot to file for divorce for 5 years? Sis. Him. I didn't want to lose custody, it's easier this way, I didn't know how to tell you. Basically, his story is that they're practically over, but still legally married because divorce would wreck him financially and mess things up for their daughter. Meanwhile, he decided it was totally fine to pursue me and just never mention it. I was shaking so hard I had to sit down. At one point I asked, "So what does that make me? Your side chick?" And he actually had the audacity to say, "No, of course not. You're my future. Asterisk as if that was supposed to comfort me. I kicked him out of his own apartment. Like, physically shoved his shoes at him and told him to get out before I did something I'd regret. Then I locked the door and ugly cried until 3 a.m. Since then, Allison and I have been messaging. He's actually really kind, which feels insane. He thanked me for being honest. She told me she had suspicions because he'd been working late, more often and more protective of his phone. She even said she doesn't blame me, that she blames him. Which honestly she should. He's the liar here. But I still feel like the biggest idiot on earth for not seeing the signs. Here's the kicker. Allison called me yesterday. She asked if I'd be willing to meet up. She said she has things I should know. She sounded calm, almost too calm, like she's been rehearsing this. I agreed because at this point I need answers more than I need air. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm supposed to meet Eric's actual wife in 2 days at a coffee shop. I don't know what I'm walking into, I don't know what she's going to say, and I don't know if I'm ready to hear it. But I'm going. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that I've been living in somebody else's half-truths for 3 years. And I can't do that anymore. We'll update after the coffee shop meetup if people want to hear more. Here asterisk been dating my boyfriend for almost 3 years. Got a DM from a woman claiming to be his wife. Turns out she is. They've been married 5 years and have a kid. Now I'm supposed to meet her in person and I have no idea what to expect. Hi Reddit. Back again with an update. I wasn't sure if I was going to actually follow through with meeting Allison, but I did. And honestly, I don't think anything could have prepared me for what came out of that conversation. So, coffee shop. Saturday morning. I got there early because my anxiety was so bad I couldn't sit still at home. I picked a corner table, ordered a latte I barely touched and kept rehearsing what I'd say. Part of me worried she'd show up furious and throw her drink in my face, which honestly I probably deserve on some level. Instead, when Allison walked in, she looked tired. Not just like, I didn't sleep much tired, but bone deep, carrying a boulder on your back tired. She spotted me immediately. We did that awkward half-smile, half-frown thing you do when you're not sure if you're about to hug or fight someone. She just said asterisk, hi. You must be my name. Asterisk I nodded and we sat down. I expected icy politeness. Glad she was calm. Almost gentle. Which somehow made it worse. She started with asterisk, I'm sorry you're in this. I know you didn't ask for it. Asterisk I had no idea what to say so I just mumbled asterisk, I didn't know. I swear. Asterisk she gave me this sad little smile like asterisk, yeah I believe you. You're not the first. Not the first. My brain short-circuited. I asked what she meant and that's when the floodgates opened. According to Allison, Eric has been pulling this double life routine for years. I'm apparently just the most recent and longest side relationship. She knows of at least 2 other women he strung along in the past, one of them for almost a year, while still playing the perfect husband and dad at home. She even found flirty texts once, but he gaslit her so hard she ended up apologizing for being paranoid. Hearing that made me sick. Like I literally felt my stomach churn. I wasn't just naive. I was part of a pattern. Then Allison dropped the real bomb. Asterisk, he has another apartment. Asterisk not the one I know, the one I thought was his place. Apparently that's the bachelor pad he uses for side relationships. Their real marital home is across town, in a quiet neighborhood with a swing set in the backyard and family photos on the walls. The lease I thought was his. Just a cover. My toothbrush, my drawer, my skincare products. All sitting in the fake life he built for me while his actual family home is fully intact. I couldn't breathe. She slid her phone across the table and showed me pictures. Eric grilling in their backyard, Eric reading bedtime stories, Eric in matching pajamas with their daughter last Christmas. The man I thought I knew playing house with someone else entirely. My chest hurt so bad it felt like I'd swallowed glass. At one point I whispered asterisk, so what am I? What was I? Asterisk and Allison just shook her head and said asterisk, I don't think he sees women as people. He sees us as roles. We both sat there quietly for a while, the hum of the espresso machine filling the silence. Finally she told me she's done. She's meeting with a divorce lawyer this week. And then she looked me dead in the eyes and said asterisk, you should get out while you still can. He's not going to change. I nodded but inside I was spiraling. Because here's the thing. I'm not sure Eric is going to let me just get out. Since Thursday he's been texting non-stop. Apologies, promises, begging to meet and explain everything. Saturday night after I met Allison he actually showed up at my apartment building. I didn't let him in but he sat outside in his car for almost an hour. I could see his silhouette through the blinds. It freaked me out. I don't know what he's capable of anymore. I used to think he was just this nerdy IT guy who forgot birthdays and loved bad 90s action movies. Now I feel like I never knew him at all. Allison gave me her number and told me to call her if he shows up again. She said, "We might not be friends but we're on the same side now." And weirdly that gave me some comfort. Like at least I'm not completely alone in this mess. So yeah, that's the update. I found out my boyfriend of 3 years not only has a wife and kid, but also a whole fake apartment life for me, plus a history of doing this exact thing to other women. His wife is divorcing him. He's stalking my building. And I have no idea what happens next. I'll keep you posted if things escalate, but right now I'm just trying to figure out how to untangle myself from a man who turned out to be a stranger wearing someone I loved like a mask. Met with my boyfriend's wife. She revealed I'm not the first, he's had other secret relationships. He even has a separate apartment just for this double life. She's divorcing him. Meanwhile he's been texting and even showed up outside my building. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare. Hi Reddit. Back with what I hope will be the last installment of this saga. Buckle up because things got worse before they got better. After my coffee shop meeting with Allison I thought I had a plan. Cut off Eric, block him, lean on friends, maybe therapy. But Eric apparently did not get the memo that we were done. The texts didn't stop. At first they were apologetic, dramatic declarations like, "You're my soulmate," and "we can get through this please." When I didn't answer they turned into guilt trips. "So you're just gonna throw away 3 years?" Then anger. "You're making a huge mistake. You'll regret this." Finally, creepy desperation. "I'm outside. Please just talk to me." And he was. More than once. I caught his car parked across from my building 3 nights in a row. I stopped leaving my blinds open. I started walking home with my keys between my fingers like claws. My best friend offered to let me crash at her place, but something in me wanted to face this head-on. I didn't want him thinking he could scare me into submission. The breaking point came last Wednesday. I got home from work and found an envelope taped to my door. Inside was a handwritten letter, pages of him begging me to remember what we had, promising to finally leave Allison, swearing I was the only real thing in his life. At the bottom he wrote, "If you won't meet me I'll have no choice but to come up and make you listen." I don't know what snapped in me but I grabbed my phone and called Allison. I said, "I can't do this anymore. He's harassing me." She didn't sound surprised. She just said, "We need to end this together." The next day Allison and I met with her divorce lawyer. I spilled everything. Texts, the letter, screenshots, even photos I'd taken of his car outside my place. The lawyer listened quietly, then said we had enough for both a restraining order and leverage in her divorce case. For the first time in days I felt like I had a weapon instead of just fear. That weekend, Allison invited me to come with her when she confronted him, at their actual house, not the bachelor pad. I was terrified but agreed. I wanted him to see both of us standing together, no more secrets to hide behind. When we showed up he looked stunned. Like a deer in headlights. Allison told him plain and firm, "I'm filing for divorce. I know about everything. She knows about everything. It's over." I thought he'd explode but instead he crumbled. He dropped onto the couch, head in hands, muttering, "You don't understand, I can't lose both of you." That's when I spoke. My voice was shaking but I said, "You already did." He looked up at me with this hollow, lost expression that might have broken my heart months ago. Now it just made me furious. Because I realized he wasn't sad about losing me or Allison, he was sad about losing his control. His little fantasy world where he got to be husband, boyfriend, victim, hero. All roles, no consequences. We left him there. Allison's lawyer filed the divorce papers. I filed for a restraining order. The cops came by to take my statement and since then he hasn't shown up at my building again. His texts have slowed down too. I don't know if it's the lawyer, the cops, or the fact that he finally realized we weren't bluffing. Maybe all three. It's been a week now. I still jump when my phone buzzes. I still double-check my locks at night. But I also feel lighter. Like someone cut me loose from a weight I didn't even realize I was dragging. Allison and I have kept in touch. We're not exactly friends, but we're allies. Battle buddies in a way. She told me her daughter asked where daddy went and she just said, he made some bad choices and needs time away. My heart broke for her, but I also admired the strength it took to put her kid first in all this. As for me, I'm done with Eric. Truly done. Therapy is next on my list, and maybe a solo trip somewhere far away once this all settles down. I don't know if I'll ever fully trust someone again, but I do know I'll never ignore red flags the way I did. So yeah, that's the end. The man I thought was my future turned out to be a stranger with 2 lives, maybe more. But I walked away. And if he tries to drag me back, I'm ready this time. Thanks to everyone who followed along and gave advice. Reddit strangers had my back when the person who swore he loved me didn't. I'll never forget that. Eric's harassment escalated with letters and stalking, so Allison, his wife, and I joined forces. With her lawyer, we confronted him, filed for divorce/restraining order, and cut off his control. He's finally backing off. I feel free but shaken. Healing starts now.